Hello everyone, welcome back. So now we'll proceed with our next video, that is operators in Java. So what are operators? Operators are basically the special symbols which are used to perform operations on variables and values. These are used to do calculation, comparisons, whenever you want to make some decision or some logical work you want to do, then what you need is operators. For example, we have seen in previous videos, like we have int a equals to 10, int b equals to 20, and we want to add these. So we'll see int sum equals to a plus b. So what is this a and b? We call them as operands, and this is the additional operator which we are using to get the sum. Okay, so plus is a operator, it is used to perform addition, or you can directly sum it using it sum equals to 10 plus 20. So why do we need operators? Because if we want to add two numbers, then we can use arithmetic operators. If you want to subtract two numbers, if you want to multiply two numbers, if you want to divide two numbers, or if you want to find remainder, then you use operators. Then you need operators. If you want to compare some values like a is greater than b, or a is less than b, or greater than equal to, and all these kind of things, if you want to compare two values, if you want to check conditions whether this is true, or if this condition is true, execute this, if it is false, execute this. This is basically an example of ternary operator. We'll see them in next video or in this video at later stage. Sometimes we need operators to make some decisions. For example, if a is greater than b, then only proceed with this block of code. So these kind of decisions you can make using operators only. If you want to some values to be assigned to a variable, say a equals to 10. So here you are using assignment operator, that is equals to. If you want to increase or decrease some values, you need operators like plus plus or minus minus. We'll see them in video. And without operators, programming become impossible. And then what are the type of operators? So basically we have 10 type of operators. First is arithmetic. We'll see what all comes in arithmetic, basically addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and remainder. Then we'll see assignment operators, relational operators, logical operators, unary operators, increment, decrement operators, bitwise operators. Bitwise, in this we'll see left shift, right shift, unsigned left shift. That doesn't exist, but we'll see why. And unsigned right shift. Then we have shift operators, ternary operator, and instance of operator. So these are the 10 operators in Java. Except this, you won't see any other operator in Java. So most of the things will get covered in this. So first is arithmetic operator. Arithmetic is the easiest operations. This is addition, this is subtraction, the multiplication is denoted by asterisk symbol, then division, and then modulus. Now I'll show you the code in the Visual Studio, then you'll be able to understand it better. I hope you can see my editor. Let's create a class, arithmetic operators dot java. Till now, you know, first we will write an access modifier, then a class keyword, then it will be same as same name as the file name, arithmetic operators. Then we have public static void main string arguments. Till now, you must have remembered this by heart. So let's have num1 equals to 10, int num2 equals to 20. And if we want to add two numbers, say int, or we'll directly print system dot out dot println num1 plus num2. So this is addition. We'll just copy paste and we'll change the operators. It takes a lot of time printing. So I'll just type multiply, then divide, and last is modulus. Modulus is to find remainder. You will now, meanwhile, I am writing the code. I want you to tell me what will be the output of all this. So ignore this because they are not of any use for you. These are just my IDE errors because of some extensions I have. It's compiling the code and then running the code. See, wait a minute. One error. Error reading arithmetic operators.java is Arithme. Oh, MEI. The class name is not same as file name. That's why it's causing error. You need to keep this same as. Now let's compile our program. Okay, it's still throwing some error. Let's run this. While running program, you most of the times will say face these issues. I'll just rename this. My ID is having some problem. I'll tell you the output myself only. This plus num1 plus num2 will show you value as 30. Then let's proceed with PPT. This is causing some issue. See, there is one example we have. If we have A as 10 and B as 3, so if you add two numbers, you'll get output as 30. If you subtract, you'll get 7. If you multiply, 10 into 3 is 30. If you divide, you'll get quotient as 3, but remainder as 1. So modulus is for remainder. Always remember. Sometimes people get confused with modulus operators, but you should not. Now, assignment operators. Assignment operators is to assign some value. For example, x equals to 10. You are assigning value 10 to x. If you want to assign value to x as well as you want to increase the value of x by 10. For example, you have int x. Okay. Now equals to 10. Let's say we have int x equals to 10 and you write x plus equals to 5. What does this line mean? This means x equals to x plus 5. And we have this x as 10. So now our value will become 15. So see, int x equals to 10, we increased it by 5. So our answer is 15. Similarly, it's minus equals to, if you will subtract, if you had minus equals to 5 instead of this, then what you will get as an output x equals to x minus 5, which is equals to 10 minus 5, which is equals to 5. So instead of getting 15 as answer, your answer would be 5. Similarly, you can multiply it with 2 and divide, and this is modulus remainder. Basically, if you see somewhere x plus equals to 2, this means x equals to x plus 2. Okay, similarly, if minus equals to means x equals to x minus 2, x equals to x minus 2. So similarly, all those operations. Now relational operators. Relational operators are basically used to do comparison, and answer is always either true or false, because either if you are comparing A greater than B, if you are comparing it, so answer can be either true or false. 8 greater than 10, no. 10 greater than 8, yes. So either true or false value will get. For example, first relational operator is equal to equal to. It is for, don't confuse it with assignment operator. It's double equal to. That means the value of A is equal to B, means if say we have a value of A as 10 and B as 10. So what we will answer, yes, true. Value is equal. And this is not equal to. If we have A not equal to B, false will be the answer, because the value of A is 10, B is 10. So they are equal. If is A greater than B, what we will say? False. Is A less than B? No. So false answer. Is A greater than equal to, or is A greater than less than equal to B? So all will be false. So like this example, A is 10, B is 20. Is A less than B? Yes. Is A equal to B? No. So false. Okay. So just remember, relational operators are just for comparisons. Next, we have logical operators. Logical operators, we have basically three: and, or, and not. So we must have seen always truth tables. For and, always remember, if both conditions will be true, then only answer will be true. Otherwise, if any of the condition is false or one of the condition is false, then we will get answer as false. Say this is condition 1, this we have written, and this is condition second, and this is the answer. So until and unless both the conditions are true, then only we can say our answer is true. Otherwise, if any of the condition is false, that will be considered as false. But in or, if any of the one is true, we get output as true or result as true. For example, first condition is true, second is false, then true. If first is false but second is true, then also true. If both are true, then true. If both are false, then only you will get the false one. Okay. So this was about and or. Now let's see what is the example here. If you see this logical and operator, int age equals to 25. Age greater than 18? Yes, 25 is greater than 18. So this value is true. And age less than 60? Yes, 25 is less than 60. So this is also true. So this whole condition will become true. Okay, and answer will be true. Now see this. Is 10 greater than 5? Yes. But 20 less than 10? No, false. But one condition is true, so the output is true. You just need to remember this truth table. After that, you can answer any question related to logical operator and or. Next is not. Not, the name itself suggests it will revert the result. If you have result as true, it will give the output as false. If you are expecting result as false, it will give you true. If you write this operator in front of your condition, for example, 10 greater than 5. Yes, this is true, but not of true is false. So the output will be false. Here you can see the same example. Now unary operator. Unary operator is just for single operand. Operand I told you na, like A, B, what we had before, we have seen this is operand, this is operand, and this is operator. This plus is operator, A and B as operands. So there were two operands when we were looking into arithmetic or comparison or logical relational operators. But for unary operators, you have only one operand, not more than one. So like positive number or for negative number or for not or for increment double plus or for decrement double minus. For example, if x equals to 10, if you want to give it a negative value, you'll just write minus x, so the result will become minus 10. Now, what is increment, decrement, and post and pre-increment, decrement? Increment means the value will get increased by 1. Decrement means the value will get decreased by 1. If you have x equals to 5 and you do x plus plus, you know it will increase by 1. So answer will be 6. So value of x will become 6. Now x equals to 5. You decrease it by 1. So it means now x will become 4. Now this is the most important concept in which most of the student fails when they do good coding, like advanced coding, I'll say, or do some DSA questions. So pre-increment means it will first increase the value, then it will use that. And post increment means it will first use it and later it will increase that value. Okay. So if you can see here, we have x equals to 5. If we do plus plus x, plus x means it will first increase the value, then it will use, right? So when we will be printing, we will get answer as 6. Then we use x plus plus. X plus plus means it will first use. Now the value had become 6. It will first use it 6 and later it will print 6, but now its value got updated to 7. Okay. Now if you will print x, you will get output as 7. I know you might be confused in this. I'll tell you this in more depth. Wait. Uh, I think you are able to see my, yeah. See. Let's say we have value of x equals to 5. This is plus plus x and this is x plus plus. Okay, whenever it is written plus plus in front of x, it means we need to first increase, then we need to use the value. So when you goes on printing this, so your value of x was 5, now plus plus is increase it to 6 and you got the value as 6. Now at this stage your x value is 6. But here it says first use the value of x. What is this? 6. Now increase the value. So here it will print 6, but now it has used it. Later it will add 1 and it will give x as 7. So now if you try to print x, you will get value 7. So this is the in pre-increment and this is the post-increment x plus plus. Similar is the concept for decrement. Decrement, if you do minus minus x in this 5, it will first decrease and then print. It will decrease, so the value will be 4. Now you have x as 4. Now if you will do x minus minus, it will use this value. Later it will decrease 1 and now your value will become 3. Now if you will print x, you will get 3. But first it will print 4 for you because it is post decrement. It will first use that x value, then only it will decrease. So this is the concept of pre and post increment decrement, and this is very important if you think for interviews and all. So don't miss this concept. Now we have ternary operator. Ternary operator is shorthand for if else condition. You know, we write something if age equals to say greater than 18, then system.out.println we say that you can vote. Okay. And else condition we write if like if age is not 18, then what we are not allowed to vote, not allowed to vote. Okay. So you don't want to write such long line of code, then this comes ternary operator. You write the condition. What is your condition? The condition is, just a second, my battery is, yeah. So age greater than 18. अगर age greater than 18 है, then you print the value, you can vote. Otherwise, you print the value not vote. So this is the shorthand for if else. Like age equals to 20, this is another example. If age greater than equal to 18 hai, then print adult, otherwise print minor. So this is the shorthand for if else. So here age is 20, it is obviously greater than 18, so we'll print answer as adult. So now next is instance of operator. It is generally used to check the object types. Like for example, here we have string name Java, and in some point of code, like this line is written on line number 30, and you are on like say line number 10998. You have this much line of code. So you don't know what is this name. What does data type does it have, what is the object type it has. Then you will use this instance of operator and you will print, you will see is this, because name is suggesting might be it can be string. So you check name instance of string, it will say yes it is a string, or it will say true. Like in output it will print true. So now is shift operator. We have two types of shift operators. One is left shift and one is right shift. For example, if you have value of x equals to 5 and you want to print left shift of uh, 5 and you want to shift it by 1. So first of all, what you should be aware of, there are two formulas. Okay, I'll go to just my screen to explain you. See, for example, just bear with me for 2 minutes, you'll get everything. We are discussing here about left shift. Symbol of the left shift will be two symbols left side. What does this mean? This means you need to move the bits to the left and filling the vacant right hand position with 0. What I said, just remember, here it means move bits to the left, comma, fill vacated right positions with 0. If you remember this line, then your left shift will be clear. And here we have formula. What we have, if for example we were doing 5 left shift 1, how we'll get the answer of this? So for this we have formula. For example, let's say a less than n. So here it's equivalent to a into 2 raised to power n. Here a is 5 into 2 raised to power 1, which is equals to 2 raised to power 1 to 5 to the 10. Okay. And in binary, this is value will be in binary. And in binary, what does 10 mean? You like 5 like left shifted to 1 mean 10. So this will no, this won't be in binary. This will be in numeric only. So this is the 10 value. You'll get answer as 10. For example, if we take another example, 5 left shift 2. So what you will do, 5 into 2 raised to power 2, this will give you 20. So this is the mathematical normal value which we have, human understandable, and in binary you can later convert it if you want. And this is 101, it will become in binary. And you have, first of all, tell me what does 5 mean in binary. See, 5 in binary is, if you want a video on this binary conversion, I can create that. 5 in binary is 101, right? And if we want to this, see, for example, think this, if we will shift at these 101 like this, left shift, then we had these two position emptied at the right. So here we'll insert 0. So what we will get, 10100. And you can see this is the donation representation of 20 in binary, right? So if you will left shift 5 by 2, you will get output as 20. And this you calculated using the formula a into 2 raised to power n. This was all about left shift. And if you have, instead of this, if you go for right shift, okay, in right shift, you just remember the behavior is a bit different. It will fill vacated left hand position, okay, with the value 0 for positive and 1 for negative. Okay, and here the formula is just opposite of what we have seen for division. In division, like for left shift, we have seen it was a into 2 raised to power n. but here it is a by 2 raised to power n. So for example, let's take the same example, 5 right shift 2. Now a into a divided by 2 raised to power n. A is 5 by 2 raised to power 2. What will be the answer? 5 by 4. Let's take some bigger example so that you are able to understand it better. For example, take it as 50. 50 divided by 4, 2 to the, so 12.5 something will be your answer. Okay, so this was all about shift operators. You need not to get into much depth for your college and all things, but when you are working on some code, then you need to look into this. Okay, industry level if you have the usage of this. Now we have bitwise operator, bitwise and single and. Don't confuse it with logical operators. Logical operator and was this, logical or was this, and logical not was this. This is bitwise. Bitwise and contains this single, and this is or, this is XOR, and this is complement. This is used in advanced programming. You need not to go into the depth of this. But for example, for your reference, I have given this. This is generally for operators plus comparison and all these things. You can see this later. This is ternary operator. Now we'll see what common mistakes students make. They confuse this equal, that is assignment operator, with double equal comparison operator. So don't get confused with this. This is a very common mistake. Don't confuse this and is bitwise and this is logical. Pre and post increment people get most confused with plus plus x and x plus plus and minus minus x and x minus minus. I think with this video you are clear about this. Now one last short revision for it is operators performs operation. Type of operators: arithmetic, assignment, relational, logical, unary, increment, decrement, ternary, bitwise, shift, instance of. And you should remember the difference between equal to and double equal to. What does increment, post increment, pre increment, decrement, all those things mean? And ternary operator is very useful. You'll use it in most places whenever you need, because writing if else is boring and lengthy. And operators, what does operators are? Special symbols used to perform operations on variables and values in Java. So this was all about this video. We'll see next topic in next video. Thanks all. Bye bye. And if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks.